Welcome to Find You Fridays with me, Lorene Hughes. How are you? It is me who is the creatrix, the instigator of and the designer of crafting possibilities. I have the absolute privilege of working with my business of crafting possibilities, and together we have created this amazing podcast called Find You Fridays. So let me just check that everything is going nicely over in YouTube land. It looks like it is, so that is fantastic. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Alrighty, so how are we going today? Has it been a big day, a little day, an in-between day? Let me know. I have had some really wonderful things happen this week. I have had some really curious things happen this week. Hi, Tamara. Lovely to have you with us again. It's so nice to have friends to chat to and play with, and I really do love it when I get people to come on and enjoy being and sharing space with us. So I'd love to know, how did you guys handle the start of Mercury retrograde? Because of course that started on April 1st. Yay! And if you are approaching Mercury retrograde from that space, good and enlightening and inspiring week. Of Mercury retrograde is terrible, horrible, and things are going to go wrong. Well, guess what happens? Things are terrible, horrible, and they go wrong. That's just a wonderful thing of how we create. But if you approach Mercury retrograde from the space that we talked about last week of when things go wrong, you go, oh, maybe I'm being required to slow down, to relax, to just take a breath. So, like, for me, that happened a couple of times for me this week, where I was in a rush and I was feeling like I was going to be late for work and that it was all going to be doom and gloom because I'd walked out without certain things from my house, and then I needed to run back to go inside and get things. But what if in those beautiful moments, it was a moment for me to not be in a car crash, where the universe was conspiring with me so that I could actually get to work pretty much on time. All sorts is possible, you know. So good to see you, Melinda. Busy day for you at the hub as usual. I have had an amazing day today. I got to do one of my CJAB sessions today. So today is because I do 4 days at my 9 to 5 as a specialist cleaner, and then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I get to do me stuff or this stuff or whatever stuff comes up. And so this beautiful CJAB session today was absolutely amazing. Hello, Edwina and Catherine. Hello, my sweets. And it's these particular sessions are very intense. They last almost 2 hours long, and they are full on. And when I come away from them, I'm always very much buzzy, and I just, I've just got a lot of energy flowing through my body, and so I'm feeling like, yay. And then I got to go meet my friend for lunch and had a lovely steak. And then I came home and had some fish at home and with Alex, and it's been a really nice day. And then this evening, just before we came on here, I got to watch some of a series that we've currently been watching it's an animated series called The Dragon Prince. and the Mysteries of Averos, I think it's called, on Netflix. And we are just absolutely loving it. And the way we got onto it was actually from me watching Love on the Spectrum, the second series, where one of the guys there is talking about this particular series and how it's like, if this and this got together and created a baby, and then this and this got together and created a baby, and then those two babies got together and then they created another baby. That's what the Dragon Prince would be. And it's like, wow, we love all of those shows. So thank you so much, Tamara. I do have one other reading just before yours, so if you can hold your patience just a little bit, we will get onto that after I've done my weekly reading. So I'll do my weekly reading, then I've got Edwina's, and then I'll do yours. So yay, it's been a really, really cool day, and I'm just absolutely loving it. I'm loving being within my body. I'm loving this. I'm just so many awesome things are happening at the moment, and yeah, just cool. Melinda says, yes, I look at those little setbacks, having to go back and get bits that I forgot. That spirit is helping to keep me safe for whatever reason. Yeah, exactly. There's a reason, and we might not be able to see it at the time, but yeah, there's certainly something something that's popping up. All right, so, and I'm also looking forward to my weekend, because on Sunday I have I'm going to a women's gathering on Sunday, and I haven't been for a few months, so I'm feeling really called to go to this one on Sunday. So I'm really, really looking forward to that and connecting with other very potent, wonderful, magical women. All right, let's get on to our weekly reading. We've got donations rolling in, so let us get busy. I love hanging out with you guys. It's so good. All right, so let us have a look at this weekly reading. So this will be obviously going from the 6th of April through to the 12th of April. Yay, my birthday. And I am going to be doing my podcast on Friday, on my birthday, because I love you guys so much. So yes, that is something that will be happening next week. Anywho, we have also coming through this week will be a lovely new moon on the 9th. So that is going to be really, really good. I look forward to Friday nights with everyone in here too. It takes a lot for me to not be here. I tell you. I have to be very, very, very much in, upgrade mode or integration mode for something big for me to not be here. So just know how much I enjoy it. So let's have a look at this reading for the 6th through to the 12th of April. For the collective, how can we best work with these energies, these new moon energies that are going to be coming through over this week? Obviously, we're working with the Mercury retrograde energies. We have just had a lunar eclipse as well. Not that we got to see it here in the southern hemisphere, but they got to see it there in the northern. So that's pretty cool. I don't think we've got any of those energies left, but wowee. It has been one absolutely phenomenal week. And so many good things are going on right now. Your creation levels, your manifestation levels are just going to be going through the roof. I can promise you that. So without even looking at these cards, I can tell you right off the bat, wherever you're putting your mind into, wherever you're putting your energy, that is what is going to be created. So if you're sitting there going, I'm fat, I feel fat, I'm not, by the way, universe. That's just an example. Safe to say, what are you going to get more of? You're going to get more of that. Okay? And remembering also that this time will be bringing up a lot of energies, a lot of old stuff to be cleared and cleared and cleansed and let go of and released. It's a really, really potent time for reflection and letting stuff go, especially with this lovely new moon that's coming in. So over the next week, we are using the Secret Language of Color cards from Ina Segal, my beautiful lady Ina Segal. We have orange to start off with, and it is nurture yourself. So that's your very first card for this week, which means it's going to probably be the overarching theme of the week. You're going to require to nurture yourself and be kind and generous and honoring of who you are, what your body truly requires in this time. All right, I'm sensing that some of you may get some headaches this week. And this has come through because purple, which is develop your mental clarity. So as we are going through upgrades in our psychic abilities, our intuition and stuff like that, there could be some things cropping up for people where you may have headaches, or you may have end up sinusy stuff, or it may come through to being a cold. And that is because different awareness centers are opening up for you. So if you come across during the week, you feel like you're getting a case of the sniffles, or getting a lot of sort of intensity in your head, you may require to have a lot more salt. You may require to do the expanding out exercise. You may require a bit more sleep. I do not recommend dipping into sugar. I don't recommend dipping into alcohol. I don't recommend doing any of those sorts of coping mechanisms. Ask your body, truth, what does it require? And you may find that it requires earth time. It might require some time to spend out in the ground and just touch the ground for a few minutes, and allow the tension to release. Okay? Gosh, I love it when I'm aware of stuff and I haven't even read the next card yet, because the next card is red, which is free yourself from pain. So when we are blocking our expansive awarenesses that are coming through, our capacities that are growing, shifting, changing, and expanding, what happens if we are resistant to that? It hurts. When we have say, for example, what's been happening in our house is that we have reduced in weight a lot. And with all of that weight, because I knew right back at the start of the year that a lot of my weight was to do with energetic, it's emotional weight. It is nothing to do really with food. It had nothing really to do with exercise, lack of, or more of, or whatever. It was emotions, and it's energetic. So what happens for what's been happening for us is that little core of every little fat cell that had been created, like that, the core is the emotion, and the emotion that couldn't be processed fully at the time. So the body went, oh, I'm going to store it wherever, over here, down there, over there, on your butt, on your back, wherever. And then I'm going to wrap a layer of fat around it to protect it until such time that you're ready to deal with it. And what do you know? We have been melting away all of that fat, which is allowing the emotions to come to the surface. And so in our household, we're having to, deal with the fact that there's all these emotions bubbling up to the surface. Now, if we don't deal with those emotions and we don't process them and honor them and take the time to be with them, it's going to come up as pain. It's going to come up as aches. It's going to come up as feeling yuck. It's going to come up as like you just can't settle. Like it's just, you feel like you're a bit of a caged animal, right? So while you may or may not be on a weight loss journey, the other thing that's happening right now is the universe, our expansion into the next dimension, is doing a very similar process. It's stripping away all of that fat, all of the 3D fat from your world, from your energetic world, and it's releasing and allowing you the opportunity to have a look at these emotions that are coming up that you've stored for a really long time. They can be points of views, they can be, emotional blocks, it could be all sorts of things, and they're all coming up to be cleansed and cleared right now. So if you're resisting and reacting to those emotions coming up and being processed, it will probably show up as pain this week. So watch out for that and take some time to ask yourself, where am I hiding from this emotion? What emotion are you trying to show me? And that's again where this book is bloody brilliant, because you can go, oh, I'm feeling that intensity in that part of my body. I'll go to this part of the book and see what that means. And oh, wow, okay, yeah, that resonates. Okay, cool. Then you can deal with it. Knowledge is awareness. Awareness is the possibility of healing. Okay? The longer you hide from it, the more pain you're going to have. Along with that, they're really ramming it home this week. We've got find the richness from the dark night. So if you're having these moments of awareness popping up, these emotions that are coming forward, you're resisting and reacting to them, you're trying to hide your head in the sand, you're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel like you're in the dark night of the soul. And this card is inviting you to not do that, to find the richness, find the gift in there. Find that thing that is like, whoa. So I'll give you an example of that. I resisted and reacted to the fact that in my life, my whole entire life, I think I've been told I love you by my mother maybe a handful of times. And I say maybe. And I used to resist and react to that so much. I used to feel like my mother didn't love me. I used to feel like she resented my being alive. I felt like there was a lot of blame and judgment and all of that going on to her from me. And what I couldn't see, this is the rich part of what was happening. What I couldn't see until I did some other work on me was that it was necessary for her to be like that with me, so I could be essentially pushed out of the nest to be here with you all. I couldn't do what I'm doing living back in New Zealand in a small, teeny, tiny little town, and, with a husband and a cow and a flock of sheep and a donkey and the cattle with the ducks and all the rest of it, living on a farm, and with my 2.5 kids. I couldn't do it. It was not my destiny. So because of my level of loyalty, it was my mother's job, her spiritual journey job, her spiritual contract with me, to give me the method to leave so that I could be here with you all, so that I could do the magic that I do on a more global scale. It was necessary for her to behave like that. And the other bit of, the richness of what she did was she exposed me to so much narcissistic behavior that I became the person who was within my family to break those flows, to make them so that they're no longer passing on through the next generations. That was part of my role. It was part of my contractual journey. So from those dark moments, from those dark nights, those resistance and reactions, ask, what am I not seeing here? What is the richness here that I can incorporate, be aware of? Okay. Tamara, interesting. It's mother wound healing for me at the moment. Yep. It's all going to be coming up right now. All right. The next card that we've got is lemon. So it's a sunshiny color, right? And it says access innovative thinking, which is basically meaning think outside the box. Be open to thinking outside the box. Allow yourself that moment to look beyond what you and your ego have experienced so far. Your super ego is way more aware of the different possibilities open to you. Your id is doing the whole survival mode thing, and your ego is only really able to work from what it's already experienced. So somewhere between the ego and the super ego is the spot to sit that's actually really, really healthy spot to sit, where you're not allowing your ego to run the show, because the ego can only run it from the experience that's past parameters, which especially if they've been abusive, toxic, narcissistic, that means you're going to have a lot of coping mechanisms in place to keep you safe. And you're going to be quite rigid in your approach to life. And there's possibly going to be a whole bunch of judgments in there. There's going to be a whole bunch of belief systems. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff around not feeling good enough, and like a lot of emotional impacts of that sort of previous experience. Being able to access innovative thinking means that you're sitting in beyond that, where you're able to remind the ego it's okay to experience new things. It's okay to be open to trying new things. It's okay to fail. It's okay to succeed. In fact, it's excellent and fun to succeed. It's cool to try new things. But you have to be within that space between the superego and the ego to do that. Okay? Alrighty. And you can do that in all sorts of different ways. You can do that by listening to your intuition. You can do that by allowing yourself to be guided to do a different course, listen to a podcast, be open to listening to different people on YouTube or things like that. Maybe it's a book you haven't read yet that has been sort of niggling away at the side. It could be all sorts of things. Allow yourself the space to look at that, okay? Let's have a look at our yummy card for the next week. Let's see. Cool. We've got light spirit. Okay, this is a reminder that you are, all of you are light spirits. That's why you're here. You're attracted to other light spirits. Birds of a feather flock together, except for the scammy ones that pop up into the chat every now and then. Oh dear, that's just to remind us what it looks like when you're not a light spirit, by the way. So this week, I don't necessarily think it'll be a fully rough one. I get the sense that it's going to be a nice, internally reflective one. You might find that you're not really wishing to go out very much this week. You might find that you wish to stay home and just ruminate, meditate, process, be in the space of you a bit more this week. Okay. I hope that that helps, my dear friends. This week is going to be an interesting one for sure. Alrighty. Edwina, my sweet, sweet woman. Are you still floating around? And would you like to pop your question into the chat, please? so that we can answer that one. Thank you. I love it. You're on to it today. Cup of tea. Okay, who wishes to come and play with Edwina? Okay, thank you. Alrighty, and so most of you know this, but in case you don't and you're wondering why I've suddenly jumped over to Edwina, it's because Edwina donated last week and then she scarpered because she was tired. So that's fair enough. So we've saved at that donation towards this week because I wish to honor that. So let's have a look at your general reading. Oh, I need to tell Alex to turn the heater off. Just one moment. I'm getting too warm. Yes, I'm a one-finger typer when it comes to my phone. I'm not amazing like some people who can do. No. I'm old school. Let's see if he actually looks at his phone. Otherwise, we're going to have to play a quick advert. There we go. Yay, he's seen it. Happy days. Oh, he said he did. Okay, cool. So, Edwina, you must be running hot. Love it. Beautiful. He's such a sweetie. Right. I will use my internal. You're feeling cold? Well, you can have some of my heat. Here you go. You can ask for your BTUs to turn on and run. That's the British thermal units. Me, I just took my socks off. That tends to regulate me a little bit better. Interesting. Cool. All right. Let us see where we go. Ooh. Alrighty, Edwina. So the first card that we've got for you is the solar plexus chakra. So it is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. So given what has been going on for you in the last day or so, this is very much a very strong indication that you are now you. You are now back to, yes, I've got the fire in my belly and I can just fucking go for it. So let yourself play with that. Play with that energy, because it's going to be so much fun for you. The next card that we've got, which might help you with your cold feet or cold body, is singing and dancing. So this is a really, really wonderful way of moving energy through the body. So your body is, for the next, hang on, let me just see, next week or so is going to be readjusting, and singing and dancing is going to be a really good way of reacclimatizing yourself with your body and allowing you to tap into some really different energies. One of the things that I found when I went through a really big upgrade at one point was listening to the radio became very hard for me, because I was not only, it was at a time when my psychic awareness really started ramping up, and my kinesthetic healing side was really, really ramping up. And what was happening was I realized that I was tapping into not only the hosts of the radio show, I was also tapping into the songwriters and the band that was playing that music. And yes, I know it's a recording, but I was still, like, the energy is still trapped into the recording. I was tapping into that and where those people were at this point in time, like that moment. It was like not the moment that they recorded it necessarily. It was like where they are now. And then additional to that, I was also tapping into all of the listeners on the radio and that were tuning in and hearing that song at that moment. It was like I was just so super sensitive to every fucking thing. And so I just turned the radio off. I hadn't listened, to be honest, I haven't really listened to the radio very much since then. Only if I'm at clients' houses or things like that. I can listen to music CDs or, recordings of the music with a lot more ease. So Spotify is fine at this stage, because I've learned how to just quieten down all of that other awareness as well. So singing and dancing, do some more of that, but also be aware of your emotional sensitivity. So if you are finding listening to music is hard, sing it for yourself. Move your body, dance, get your kids to sing and dance with you, make up songs that are just silly. And you'll find that that will be a lot easier to cope with. The other thing about emotional sensitivity is that if you're walking through the shops, if you have to go shopping and stuff like that, and your emotional sensitivity is a wee bit high, do the expanding out exercise before you go to the shops, before you get out of the car and go in to do shopping or anything. Expand out. And so that then you're essentially kind of creating a big bubble around yourself. It's not a protection bubble. What it is it makes it sure that you're not being bashed about. Remember how I'm talking about the little pebble at the bottom of the raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. When we are in our emotional sensitivity space because we've just had a big energy work session, or we're having a big upgrade or whatever, or we're in integration phase, when we expand out, those energies can just flow straight past us. They don't bash us around, and because we're not cowering in the corner. So I hope that makes sense. The next card that we've got here is release, and it says to work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. So over this next week or so, there may be moments there where you feel an energy come up that feels really icky in your stomach, or makes you feel tight and tense. Allow it to release. Let it go. Just acknowledge it. Okay, I see you. I feel you. thank you for showing me, and I now love you enough to let you go. And watch it disappear. Surround it with unconditional love and let it go. Rather than resisting and reacting, this will be a much, much easier way. Because as we release, because we're going through big upgrades and stuff, like I said in that weekly reading, the more we resist and react to the upgrade, the harder it is. And that energy, that emotional energy, will just keep pounding on you until you actually deal with it, release it, deal with it, love it, acknowledge it, thank it, and then let it go. Allow it to transform itself to go. The next card that we've got for you, my dear, is ear chakras. Notice the messages that appear as sounds, music, words from both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. So you know why I'm giggling to that one. Within that, when my clairaudience really started kicking in, I would find sometimes my ear would feel a little bit weird, and like sometimes there'd be a ringing sound, sometimes kind of like tinnitus, but not. It's like there's no reason for it to be there. It just was. And it wouldn't necessarily last all that long. The other things that would crop up would be like a stuffy feeling in my ears. And then I'll be feeling like, you know, when you're going up or down a hill or going up in a flight, when you're like taking off or landing, and you're like go, trying to rebalance those energies. So just be aware of your ears, because it could be also your clairaudience is starting to really ramp up, and you could be embracing a new capacity over this next week. Now, the interesting thing is that your team also asked me to bring through a language of flowers card. 18 is the one that you chose. All right. So that makes sense. All right. So what you got was the Cattleyard orchid, which is fertility. Okay, so I'll read the meaning of it, and then we can move on. So this flower will assist you to open yourself to divine truth and to heal from past traumas. Cattleyard orchid also shows ways to grow yourself, your loves, passion, and life, to encourage what you truly need in your life, along with great abundance. Positive messages and energies surrounding children, businesses, and your creations. The light will always be found somehow. Your challenges, which may be coming through in the next week, becoming unreceptive and stubborn, as well as meddling too much or trying to make things grow in abnormal or unnatural ways. Sexual desire that is unhealthy may be clouding your better judgment and focusing on getting rich, famous, or powerful. Quick plans is stopping you from enjoying life to the full. Okay, so that's some interesting information there for you to play with. And I would say there, the most important thing to take away from that is you're growing. It's a reconfirmation of the fact that, yes, you are growing, you're shifting, changing, and expanding, and to be just aware of where you might be sort of swinging the other way to try and compensate. All right. Whee! Yummy cards are flying. Flying, flying, flying. Okay. And we got support for you, my dear. So over this next week or so, if you feel like you need to reach out to trusted people for support, for fun, to go and catch up with, to sing and dance, to move your body, to catch up for a cup of tea, Get out into your community and be around the really super nurturing people. Be around the people that make you feel light this week. And I wonder what else you can create in the meantime. Also, the support can come from Mother Nature. So getting out into Mother Nature, getting a breath of fresh air, grounding, that's all really wonderful support for the body, especially when we're upgrading and things like that. Okie dokie, or shifting just a lot of energy out of our system. So thank you, Edwina, for your donation to Find You Fridays. I'm incredibly grateful for you and your support, to Find You Fridays and to Crafting Possibilities. It is an absolute pleasure to have you as part of our Find You Fridays crew. All righty. Tamara, it is your turn, my darling, to pop your question in, please. I'm grateful to you too, Edwina. Now to jump back to Melinda. I too find if my feet are hot, I'm hot. If my feet are cold, I'm cold. I tend to stick my feet out of the bed covers at night to help me regulate temperature. Me too. Which is why in the winter time, I'll often have, up until soon this weekend, because I got an electric blanket gifted to me this week. So yay. I have made sure that I've had like a hot water bottle or something, like a wheat bag or whatever, and put it at my feet. Because if my feet are cold at night and it's not summertime, I find it so hard to get to sleep. Oh my goodness gracious. It is really, really hard to get to sleep. And I don't know what it is, but it's almost like if my feet are cold, the rest of my body's going, we have to stay alert just in case something's going to come and get us. I don't know. I'm making that up. It's entirely possible that that's what my beautiful body thinks. And I don't get why that is. She's an amazing thing, but she likes having nice, warm, snuggly feet. All right. Okie dokie, Tamara. Oh, wonderful, Christine. I'm so happy to hear that your computer is sorted. Bloody Mercury retrograde got you, didn't it? Okay, that question, Christine, is something that I can talk about in a session. Cutting cords and things like that is something that I can't do here. It's not the appropriate time and place. So yes, you are correct with letting go of cords and things is really wonderful for getting rid of that karmic energy from all your lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities. I have a really beautiful process that I go through with people that is to do with cord cutting, but it also tackles things in a really different way from your traditional cord cutting. So yeah, definitely. Is there thank you for mentioning that I have a session with you. All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. For now, I'm going to focus on Tamara. If you come up with a different kind of question that you'd like to ask, then feel free to pop that into the chat. Otherwise, let's see where we can go with that one. But for now, I'm just having a look at Tamara for her insights into April. So in case you're wondering, my beautiful people, Christine has decided to pick up an online session with me. And at the moment, my bookings are getting pretty busy, which is awesome. I love it. It's exciting for me. And they're roughly an hour long. Sometimes they go about an hour and a half, but it just depends. Depends on what's going on, what level of healing is required within that session. Because I'm not someone who's going to just stop in the middle of a process just because the hour is up. That's not my system. That's not my way. I'm one of those really crazy people who likes to do something until a job is done. Radio. Tamara, I'm getting a sense of you're bashing up against the wall. It feels like you're like trying to get to the next thing, but it's like you're feeling like stuck or in the sludge of life. And it feels like you sigh a lot. I'm also getting a lot of high breath with you. Like this, it's almost like I feel out of breath, almost like as if not quite asthma-ish, but just like you don't get a lot of chances to really go really fully breathe in the air and breathe in like the nice fresh air, you know, like when this is one of the reasons why I love living up in the hills, because in the morning time especially, even if I'm running late, as soon as I step outside the door I can go and my whole body just goes gosh, I love living up in the hills because it's like there's just like an extra layer of oxygen in the air, like it's nutrient rich oxygen that has been released over the night, and it feels like that's maybe not something that you're receiving enough of right now, is that moment of just really breathing in the beautiful nature air. Just checking to see what else is popping up throughout that. I also get a sense that perhaps you require a little bit more sleep. Maybe your sleep has been a little bit disturbed or too short in the last week or so, or last few weeks. And that it wouldn't hurt to have a bit of a sleep in tomorrow, or at least once over the weekend. Okay. See what else we can uncover for you. Oh, goodness. There we go. Makes sense. Like I said, it didn't feel like it was asthma. It felt like just a real big, heavy weight in your chest. So that makes sense. Waking up a few times during the night. Okay, cool. What is your routine before you go to bed? So in the hour or so before you go to bed, what is your routine? Because it might help to know that so that we can perhaps give you some hints and tips. first of all, I would highly recommend you get to do some breathing exercises, even just some really light ones. So when you're lying down, place your hands on your belly and touch your fingers together like this or like this, okay? And when you breathe in, so you place your hands on your lower belly, around about placing your fingers over top of where your belly button is. And watch the, okay, cool. And as you breathe in, your fingers should separate and then come back together. Maybe not that much, but when you're doing diaphragmatic breathing, which is what we would normally do when lying down, so this is why it's the easiest to practice there. And what that does is it tells the brain it's okay to relax. It's okay to allow the brain to calm and to release the dopamine and to stop releasing cortisol. This is why belly breathing is really important. When we are doing upper breathing all the time, it tells that simple action is telling the brain that we have to be ready to run, we have to be ready to fight, we have to be ready to be on guard for anything and everything. All right, so that's the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Okay, so when you bring your breath down to your belly, to your low belly, especially around that sort of belly button area, and then just letting your belly do the diaphragmatic breathing, it triggers the response in the brain of, okay, we don't have to be fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. We can relax and nurture and nourish and heal. Oh, that's what we can do now. So while you're watching your movie or stuff like that, practice your low breathing. It doesn't take too much brain capacity. You can still watch your things. What I would also recommend to you is get yourself some kind of tea that will help you to relax. So there's all sorts of sleepy time type teas that you can get. I prefer one called Celestial Seasonings, and I have that, and I marry it with a licorice tea. I put those two together and it works wonders. I originally started off with one from Red Seal that is called, I think it was Black Adder tea. And that was amazing for helping me to relax my body at a time when I was very, very tense. But it's hard to get here in Australia. So when I find it, I go, yay, and I get really excited, but I haven't seen it for a long time. There are other sleepy time teas that you can get as well. Most supermarkets will have some sort of selection of tea that is aimed at helping you to calm and relax. If you're not a big fan of chamomile, that's why doing things like adding the licorice tea bag to the sleepy time one works really, really well. Interesting that you say that you'll be getting up all the night for the toilet. No, that's an interesting point of view. Okay, it doesn't have to be your reality. And if you drink it like an hour before you go to sleep, there's a very good chance that it'll start to process and go through your bladder. And then at the time that you need to go to sleep, you'll go to the loo and everything will be fine till the morning. Okay, cool. That's all right. Don't do licorice. Don't do chamomile. There are other ones that are in there as well that can help. And sometimes the chamomile, so I'm not a big fan of chamomile on its own either, to be quite honest. But when it's mixed in with other stuff, I don't mind it so much. So find one that works for you. You might prefer a peppermint or something like that added to it. Okay. So all of those sorts of ones will help you. You have to be open to doing things in a new way. Okay. just started doing somatic yoga. Cool. Daily EFT. Cool. In the morning, but may shift it to the evenings. Find another one that works for you for the evenings to, calm the body for the evening time. That will be really wonderful. I'm sure there are different tapping exercises that you can do to calm the body and the mind. So yeah, have a look at all those things. Okay. Let us have a look at the rest of the month. Oh boy. There's going to be a big focus on you healing this month, and it's going to challenge you in the ways that you have done things in the past. So, as you said, you're really aware of calming your nervous system. You've spent your whole life on, and so it's learning a new way of life. The question I have for you is, for what reason were you on all the time? What was in your world, especially as a young one, that created that perceived response where you had to be on and in your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? What was it? And you don't have to put this in the chat. I'm just saying this question for you to bring up the awareness so that you can go, oh, because the thing is, knowledge creates awareness. Awareness creates a space of healing. Okay? So that's what that's all about. Awesome. All right. So I'm actually going to go into the goddess one first. So the card that came through from the goddess deck. So this month, this is your invitation to work with Thecla, the prophetess of true power. And her thing is, I call my power back from all times and places. I am my own. So when we are in that space of being on, as you mentioned, quite often it is a traumatic response to giving away your power to someone else, whether that be parents, people in authority over you, especially as a young one. It might be doctors, lawyers, teachers, priests, whatever it is for you. Family is a really, really big one. At this point in time, I'm also given that Thecla's popped up, is you are now gathering back the energy and the spaces and places where you've let it all leach out of you. So, and this is through all of your lifetimes. Please work with Thecla. It's Thecla. Ask for her to come through and help and support you while you're going through this time of change and healing these wounds. We've got the indigo crystal children. So to me, this is, while this card is technically talking about your support to other children, I actually get this is about you. Your inner child work is going to be coming up big time for you this month. There's going to be a lot of moments where you are going to be activated and you're going to have big emotional responses to things and other people. And then when you've got a half a second to go, oh shit, why the fuck did I just say that or do that? You'll realize it has nothing to do with the other person. It's all to do with you and your inner child response system. And that is the very key moment to look for, because that's the point where you can go and do your own inner child work. I don't know if you've ever done any of that before, but just the easiest way I can describe it is to go, okay, when did I very first feel this? Whether it be feeling like my boundaries have been violated. Where did I very first feel that I wasn't safe? And that'll bring up in your mind a time when that happened. I do this inner child work a lot with my clients, and we do some really beautiful deep healing work with that. But you can do it yourself if you are able to. If you've got enough sort of background. And all you do is you just imagine that, say, for example, your 6-year-old self who feels like they weren't safe and that their boundaries have been violated, you can go and you can imagine that they're standing in front of you. And you can acknowledge all those big emotions, and you can start asking questions, and then you can send some healing love through that. And you can nourish and nurture them how you wish you had been nourished and nurtured at the time. You can be their guardian angel because you are their guardian angel. You can't change what happened. You can't change the event, but you can change the energetic impact of that event on your life. Okay? So doing that inner child work is definitely a really important part of your journey, and it's going to be coming up a lot this month. Priorities. You're going to have to look at what is your greatest priority. Is it your greatest priority to stay up for another hour watching till the end of a movie or whatever? Or is it a greater priority in your life to spend some time quietly journaling, writing down your gratitudes, having some time to unplug from technology and just be chill? Even if you don't want to do journaling, because some people can't. Some people really struggle with that. It's looking at what do you wish to create for the day ahead. And if your greatest priority is to be well rested and well nourished, then screen time is a really good thing to dial back on a little bit in the evenings. Okay. The next card that we've got is Take Back Your Power. So it says, use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. You are very powerful. You are a goddess walking. Even if you don't realize it, you are. You have the ability to create miracles in your body every single day. And even those of us who are beautiful women who have been deemed as infertile, I laugh at that simply because the potency and the power of creation is still with you, regardless of whether you've got eggs or a working uterus. The more that we give away our power to people in authorities, people in different areas to you, the more you allow that to be sapped away from you, the harder it is to be relaxed. When you take back your power, you are able to calm and soothe and nurture and nourish yourself and honor your body and be in that space of vulnerability with those around you and just be bright and sparkly. It's really important. Take back the power. Don't leech it out to all these other things. The other thing that is coming up this month, you might be feeling a little bit impatient. When the divine order card comes up, that's always a really good sign to me that it's to allow to remind you, or me, or wherever, to breathe and go, it's okay. Everything is working out exactly how it is supposed to. If you are in alignment with your requests to the universe, they will show up very, very quick these days. If the requests are massive and there's a lot of different parts that have to be moved and shifted and changed about for you to be able to receive that, it's the universe is working on it, right? It's like there's a really big difference between getting a sponge cake with a quick buttercream icing and a thing shoved in the top. Here you go, here's your birthday cake, right? Compared to something that is, say, a red velvet cake, takes a bit longer. It's got a few more ingredients in it. Takes a bit of a different time to cook. And it gets covered in proper royal icing, and then it has lots of little intricate icing flowers that take hours and hours and hours to create, and maybe some of that very intricate piping work, the traditional piping work. And maybe you've got not just one cake, but maybe you've got a couple of cakes, kind of more like a wedding cake type style, but it's your birthday cake. And maybe you've got some flowers, but they're out of season, that you really wish to have on that cake, and you wish to have some real flowers, but you want that particular flower, and so it has to be imported from the place where it is in season, and that takes time. All right, the bigger your ask, the more complicated the pieces, the more work the universe and your spirit team and all the other bits and pieces have to do to bring that into your world. Doesn't mean you shouldn't ask for those bigger things. But all I'm saying, and all your team is trying to tell you, is that it's okay. Everything is happening in the perfect timing. You will receive that big, beautiful, complicated cake when it is done and ready for you. All you have to do is not judge it, be patient, and keep open to that request being received. Those are the 3 things you have to do. In the meantime, enjoy being you. Enjoy the moments of lightness. Enjoy the moments of sweetness in life. Ask a really simple question like, universe, can you please show me something beautiful today? If you start your day like that, I can guarantee you'll be way more open to seeing the beauty in life and the beauty that the universe and nature and people have to show you. You can even cool and calm things down by using the Ho'oponopono techniques of, as you're driving along and you're tense and you're tight and you're feeling all about traffic and you're tailgating because, you really have to get to work on time, and the person in front of you is being a right pain in the butt, and they're not going fast enough, they're not going speed limit, blah, 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 blah. Take a breath and go, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And you just keep repeating that over and over and over and over again. And you're not saying it to the person in front of you. You're saying it to yourself. Because with all of that big, big, big energy that you've just been expressing, and your actions of like saying you're tailgating people and you're judging them and you're impacting your own body. You're making your own body have to work so much harder. So by saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, or thank you, I love you. You can do it whichever way around. You can even come back to just, I love you, beautiful, sweet body, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You'll find traffic will ease. You'll be much calmer, and really cool stuff happens. You'll start getting more green lights, and you won't be so wound up when you get to work or wherever you're traveling to, taking the kids to school or whatever. Cool. So this month, you're going to see a lot more symbols and stuff. Keep an eye out for them. And this is one of the interesting things about symbols and numbers and things like that. I often see stuff in these days more and more and more. And it'll pop up in the weirdest places, like when I go and buy petrol or my odometer, or maybe something that I've like the number plate on a car or things like that. And it's just like, oh, that's really interesting. And or my phone, obviously, when you get your digital readout on your phone and you're seeing things like 444 or 555, or, you know, your 1111 is pretty obvious. The 222s. Watch also for symbols. Get informed and knowledgeable about your esoteric symbols, and watch for them popping up into your life too. Okie dokie. So you're going to have quite an exciting April by the look of it. You're going to be working on your inner child work. That's still going to happen. You're going to have to get a little bit more brutally honest with yourself around what your priorities are. You're going to be encouraged to take your power back, which you will do through your inner child work anyway. You're going to have to relax. Take a breath and relax and breathe. And you get to look out for those wonderful, wonderful symbols and numbers and things like that. And throughout it all, if you invite Thekla to work with you and support you throughout this month, you'll find the transition through the month will be much, much easier. She's going to help you a lot. Okay, she's got a lot of lioness fire energy, which makes sense for April because, you know, it's a fire month as far as the astrology goes, being in Aries, which is a fire sign. So it makes sense that Thekla's coming through there too. Okay. See what your yummy card is. Where are you? All right. Oh. Cool. All right. So you got journey. So yes, you're going to go on a lovely, lovely journey this month. I would also encourage you to make use of the slowing down of Mercury retrograde. It is there to invite you to relax, to meditate, and to take a little bit of a life review, a little bit of stock of where you're at with your energies, your emotional energies. What are you holding on to? What are you letting go of? We've obviously got that new moon happening early next week. Make use of that time if you feel called to. It can even be something as simple as, you know, you just go outside and on the new moon time and just say something really open-ended of whatever is no longer serving me, I now release it. I release it up to Mother Moon. So it may never ever come back to me again. And let it go that way. You don't have to know what it is. But it will leave you. If you're ready to let it go, it will leave. Okay? If you wish to write stuff down and burn it, let it go. Do that too. Light a candle. Do whatever works for you. Okie dokie. So I hope that helps, Tamara. It's going to be an exciting month for you. That's for sure. That is for sure. Archangel Oracle cards. Yes. They were, in fact, the very, very first deck that I ever got. They are the good old Doreen Virtue ones. So this particular card deck is 16 years old, I think, roughly around there. So yeah, it's been a while and they're still doing such a good job. There's no reason why I can't use them just because they're my first deck. They're just very beautiful. All right. Next cab off the ranks is Christine. So Christine, my sweet. Oh, I have missed Juanita. Aw, thank you, Tamara. Cool. Before I come back to Christine, Juanita, would you please pop your question in the chat? Sorry, I missed you before. You two must have come through it pretty much almost the same time, maybe. I don't know. That's weird. Oh, no. Hang on. I'm looking at the 29th of March. I don't think Juanita's even in the chat. So, yes, Christine. Christine. Sorry. Oi, oi, oi. I think I'm going bonkers today. I've just had such a lovely day. I'm on Lululand. Righty-ho. 29th Mercury. Yeah, I know, right? Mercury retrograde did start on the 1st of April, and I thought that was hilarious. It's like, April Fool's, Mercury retrograde, let's go. Except not April Fool's. That's the fooling you. Okay. Cool. Let's have a look and see how can we. All right. I'm going to put it up like this. Christine, beautiful Christine. And let me have a look and see what we can find out around your brother. I think that would be the best way that we can work with this one. Okay. So one of the things that you mentioned in there is that they are not learning the lessons, or he's not learning the lessons. That was one of the things that you mentioned up in your things. So here's the kicker. We are not here to force anybody else to heal, to grow, to shift, to change, or expand, or to release their karmas, or to learn from their karmas. We can be an invitation, but we cannot make somebody do that. Can't make them release their karma. We can't make them do anything. What we can do is release our karma. We can release our contracts with people, because sometimes we've created verbal contracts. One of the most common ones that I see with relationships is at some point in time, we have said to someone, I will love you forever. Forever is a very, very, very long time. Forever is another word for infinite. And at that point in time, in that particular lifetime, that could have been true. However, what happens is that then creates a contract, a verbal contract to love that person no matter what. No matter what other contracts they sign up for, no matter what, soul contracts they have, no matter what their behavior, their actions, then, the toxicity that they choose in another lifetime because they have other stuff that they have to learn. We still have to love them because we have promised that we will love them forever. And that's where the karmic shit comes from. Quite often we have done this in another lifetime, dimension, reality or non-reality, and we have this hanging over our heads, tying us together. And that's where our judgment comes from. I'll go back to that story with my mum where I was like, I used to judge her horribly for not saying I love you. I would bring it up with her, straight up to her face and say, Mum, why don't you say that you love me? And she goes, I don't need to show you. I don't need to tell you that. You already know that. It's like, yeah, but it would be really nice to hear it occasionally. At which point she laughed in my face. I could not force my mum, to tell me that she loved me. It's not what our journey was. But what that did is made me realize my own healing and my journey with the word love and how much it meant to me. And all of that behavior helped me to create the being that I be today, that I am more empathetic, I'm emotionally sensitive, I'm a great healer, I'm hyper aware sometimes of other people's pains and pathways. And luckily I've learned some skills and some tools to be able to separate, to go, okay, I know that that's not mine, it's okay, it's theirs, and I'm just aware of it. I don't have to do anything about it, it's okay. It's like when people say to me, oh, are you aware of spirits? And I'm like, yeah, I can be. Oh, what have you picked up around here? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not tuned in right now. I'm not here to do that right now. I'm here to be present with you, not with the spirits in your house. All right. Yeah, verbal energy contract across time. Which is why I cringe every time I hear it in one of those cheesy movies. I'm like, oh my God, no, don't encourage people to do that. That's yucky. All right. I got to watch a video today, and I shared it to a few people around, I think it was like 12 traits of adult children who have had narcissistic parents. And oh my gosh, so much of it rang true. And I'm just like, this is incredible knowledge to have, because it helps you to see what else is the flow and effect of certain behaviors of the adults in your life. So, for example, Christine, what you may have discovered and decided as a young person is that it's okay for a man to not say I love you to his partner because that was what you saw growing up. Or you could swing the complete opposite way and be craving that level of acknowledgement in your world. So one of your main love languages could actually be words of affirmation. And because there's a higher value on that for you, because you could see how much that hurt your mum to not hear that And you're like, I don't wish to have that in my world. So then it becomes this thing where it's like, I really require to hear I love you from my partner. And if you don't get it, then it triggers all of these or activates all these responses, which can then make you go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, especially the fawning, which is around the people pleasing. Because if we're fawning over them and we're people pleasing them, maybe, just maybe, they'll start to say, I love you. And that's the same with our siblings. And maybe that's just part of your journey of letting it all go and realizing that the only person that really, really you have to get that approval from is yourself. And that also the realization that if you really, truly wish to receive unconditional love, you can pull it up from Mother Earth, you can receive it from Father Sky, you can pull it from all around nature, all around you every single day. It's a beautiful thing. That's why I teach you guys to do that. Alrighty. Whee! So I did see towards further up there, you were talking about the properties and that you're managing his properties but using your credit. What do you get out of that? Because if you weren't getting anything out of it, you wouldn't do it. He's a grown-up. If he has the properties and he chooses to let them go to rack and ruin, that's not on you. That's on him. But if you're choosing to use your credit to keep his properties going, that's your choice to do that. And is it because you're maybe you're, there could be an element of martyrdom, a little bit of the I told you so, a little bit of the I'm better than you, a little bit of the, the judgment coming through. It's giving you the space to be able to judge your brother. And within that, all those possibilities, I'm not saying that that is what you're doing. I'm just giving you some options and possibilities as to what you might be getting out of that. It can also be giving you, feeding your levels of stress. So then you've got excuses and reasons for not doing certain other things that could be super nurturing to you, but because you're having to deal with all of this stuff for your brother, it gives you the reasons to not do this stuff and deal with this stuff. Okay? Okay. You're welcome, Christine. Sometimes the reasons why we do things is very complicated, and sometimes it comes from a place of toxic coping mechanisms. And if we have come from a family where there was a lot of narcissism and abuse and toxic relationship basis there, we get all of these really unhealthy coping mechanisms. And one of them is that we will people please, but then we'll highly resent having to do that to keep everybody else happy. And it is a tough one to recognize that within yourself and to go, oh, why am I choosing that? And when you start digging back and you realize what's going on, you can go, okay. It's a tough one. There's a lot of, like I said, it's a very complex thing, and especially when it comes to family. So the question that I asked of the tarot was, what do you require to know about your brother and the interaction with your brother? Okay. Narcissistic, and I am the black sheep since my background, clinical psych, and I called it out with my brother, and my parents still enabled the behavior. Yep. Because they probably are too. That's very similar to what happened for me and my family. And I wonder what the gift there is for you. All right, so the first card that came out was the High Priestess. And in this case, I'm seeing that as there's a lot of judgment. It's a lot of black and white in his world. There's not a hell of a lot of gray areas. And he will refer to other things other than himself as far as being blaming and judgmental and all of that sort of stuff. The High Priestess isn't necessarily judgmental in the way that I'm talking, but this is the sense that I'm getting with this. It's as far as your brother goes, he's like not balanced at all. He's very much all about him. And as when it comes to finances, it's like he wants to play the big man on campus and seem like he's got it all together and all of that sort of shit. But at the end of the day, what he's not doing is creating a space of poverty for those around him. He's got like this really big, brave, like poncy, like, I own properties and I don't even really have to do anything with them because my sister runs it all for me. And so check me out. I'm fucking amazing. He's all big and full of himself. And he doesn't comprehend the fact that his inattentiveness is creating poverty in other areas. And by poverty, I mean a lack of nurturing and nourishing energy. You're providing the nurturing and nourishing energy to those properties. He's not. He's just taking. And even if it's just energetically, he's just taking from that, not actually contributing to it. The next card that came up is the Knight of Wands, and it's reversed. So what this means is that his spiritual journey, he is pausing his spiritual journey. So you are asking about his karma and stuff like that. At this point in time, he's going backwards with it. He's not really wishing to power on ahead. He's quite happy sticking his head in the sand and doesn't wish to deal with his karma. He doesn't wish to deal with his responsibilities. He's quite happy being the nice little young man sitting in a grown man's body, blaming everybody else for his hardships, and at the same token saying how fucking wonderful he is. So he's a very interesting little being, and I imagine he's going to get a rude awakening at some point, simply because the next card that comes up is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is showing two people out in the cold. So he is going to fall from grace at some point. And it doesn't have to be you that creates this. He's going to create it all by himself. This is going to be part of his journey, and you are not to save him. That is not your job. It is, you are the person who has the ability to allow him to make his own mistakes. If you wish to take responsibility for his mistakes, you'll be the one that'll be clothing him. You'll be the one that'll be putting his shoes on for him. You'll be the one that's feeding him and wiping his arse. It's up to you whether you choose to do that or let him grow and let him figure out that all the gifts that he has are sitting right here. He just has to get his head out of the sand, stop being a stupid man boy, and see the possibilities for himself. You've got to, this is what it's really interesting seeing this card coming through. The next card that we've got is the Ten of Wands. So interesting. Both of the Wands cards are upside down. And again, Wands is about your spiritual growth. And he's got a hell of a lot of work to do. But he's got his head in the sand. And he's not going to choose to do the work until he's incredibly forced to. So it'll be once all of the other supports around him that are enabling his behaviors, as you just mentioned, once they are all disappearing and gone, including yourself, because you walk away and carry on with your own life and your own journey and stop using your credit to help him with his bloody properties, then this card will go this way, and he will actually start his own journey and his own healing and growth. But until the rest of it falls away, it's going to stay this way. He's got a long way to go before he'll be able to do that. So the question you have to ask yourself is, truth, am I enabling his behavior? Or am I blaming my parents for enabling his behavior? Because you could be doing exactly the same, just in a different form. Playing peacemaker to keep the parents happy, to keep him happy. It's a coping mechanism. It's not necessarily a healthy one. What an interesting card to come out. I hear you, Christine. I hear you. Okay. Right. I was trying to figure out why they gave me this card. So I was asking some more questions. The card that you've got for your yummy card is joyous. I was like, what the fuck has joyous got to do about this? No. At the moment, he's sucking the joy out of your world and you're letting him. So it's up to you. It's up to you whether you allow yourself to continue to play that narcissistic game or not. It means you're going to have to get really, really tough. And it means you're going to have to make some bloody big decisions and choices, and you're going to have to stick to them. And he's going to get really fucking angry with you. because you're not going to play his game anymore if that's what you choose. And if that's not what you choose and you choose to continue to run your credit so that you can look after those properties to keep him happy, to keep your parents happy, blah, 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 then that's what you've chosen, and you have to be okay with that then. That's your responsibility. That's what you've picked up. It's a big one. Hope that helped. Help give you some insight, some confirmation perhaps into what you were already aware of. It's just interesting to see it coming out in the tarot, right? Hi, Nicole. Lovely to have you with us. Alrighty, I think that's all of the sessions. I just better double check my phone. Leon, Christine, Tamara. Yep, cool, beautiful. Now, before I get on to this next section, some of you may have seen my Facebook Live today. Some of you may not have. So today was the big invitation to my lovely goddesses in waiting, goddess sisters, to join my next book club. So if you'd like a bit more background as to the book club that I have been hinting at since about November last year and why it hasn't happened until now, I invite you to pop back onto my Facebook page, my Lorene Hughes Facebook page, and I think it's actually over on my business page as well. I shared it over there. It's public, so you can watch it even if you're not my friend. And you'll find out the details of why I was not necessarily choosing the book club until now. I had to allow some extra awarenesses to pop in, and that was really cool fun. So the details of the book club are that from the first Saturday in May, which is the 4th of May in Adelaide time, we will be starting a book club. And the first book is going to be this book. It is The Magic, and it is by Rhonda Byrne. It is one of the Secret series. So yes, it is a law of attraction style. But what it is it's a 28-day journey around gratitude and ramping up our abilities and the magic with gratitude and practicing it every single day. So this weekend, I will be releasing and opening up the Facebook group. There'll be a special little Facebook group just for this book club. And on the 4th of May, we will be starting with this book. Which is why I'm telling you about it now, because if you wish to join and you can have this book with you, you can listen to it on Audible, you can do it on Kindle, you can have it as a real copy. I prefer a real copy when I'm doing book clubs because I like being able to make little notes and, do little tabs and all sorts of things. But I've also done book clubs where I'm not the host and I follow along with the other people and I just do it on my Kindle. And sometimes I'll just do the Audible and the Kindle together or all sorts of things. So I'm not telling you have to do it in real copy, but if you would like to, it is definitely there. And I'm giving you enough notice now to let you know that if you want to order the book, get it now, get it ordered, get it going, because we will be starting on the 4th of May. Now, this 28-day journey, I will be dropping into that Facebook group for about 10 to 15 minutes every day, usually around 9 o'clock in the evening. And it will be to review our practice from the day. And it's to give you enough time in the morning or in the afternoon or the early evening to be able to do the practice for that day. There's a task every single day that you have to do. And there's two parts to this. First one is to get really good at practicing gratitude. The second part is about practicing our journaling. I have another video that I will be releasing around journaling and why it's been a struggle for me. So I'm sure you guys are like, what is a struggle for you? You talk about it all the time. Yeah, I do, because I know the value of it. But I will talk more about that. So this is about ramping up our abilities with our journaling and our gratitude. Okay. The next book. So this is going to be a 3-book book club series. And that's it. That's all it's going to be. And I've sort of mulled over which books I wish to do and which is going to create the most for us as a beautiful group of women moving forward. Every second Saturday, I will do, even throughout the Magic book series, I will do a 1-hour call that will be streamed into the Facebook group as well. Okay, so that will be happening every second Saturday. From there, we will be moving into attached. I talk about this one a lot throughout this podcast, and attached is about learning what your attachment styles are, and is also gives a lot of really practical examples of what the different the three main attachment styles are and how they function together or don't function together. This is to give you knowledge and awareness of what makes you tick, how you function in relationships. This is a really brilliant book for that. All right, something quite different from the Magic, but those two actually do work really well together, because once you've got your gratitude practice up and running, you can continue to do that, even in a simplified version. And then you can add the knowledge of the attached stuff, and you're like, oh, wow, that's why I choose that. Then from there, we will be choosing this one, which is Pussy, a Reclamation. And that is by Regina Thomas Hauscher. Now, the cool thing is, if you buy this book, and I'm pretty sure she still has it, but I will double check before we get to this point. If you get this book in real hard copy, and if you mention up on her webpage that you have bought this, you can actually get the Audible version of it for free. That's what it was when I last did this book, and that was going back a few years now, but I will double check that. So this will be the 3rd book in our journey. It is going to give you a really beautiful, big, deep dive into your feminine reconnection, your goddess powers, the incredible being that you are. And there is so much in this book. Look at all these tabs, right? This isn't even all of them. I've reused some as I've gone through and done this book. I have read and listened to this book in total about 6 times. So I know this book really, really well, and I know how fucking amazing and incredible it can be for really doing that deep, deep dive into what makes you so bloody magical as women. So that is our 3-book series. We move and shift around a few different areas, and that is the point. Okay, so if you are interested in joining up with the book club, it is free. I'm doing all of this for free. It will be a call. This call that happens every Saturday will happen at 9 o'clock in the morning for roughly an hour. And it's 9 o'clock in the morning, Adelaide time. And part of the reason why I'm choosing it to start in May is to give you guys enough time to get in and grab those books, or at least the first book, the Magic book. And the other thing is to give you the space to invite other women who you think this could be really beneficial for. So yes, a Saturday, every second Saturday, 9 a.m. So you're not having to take up every single Saturday. It's every second Saturday, and we will be diving in, doing a deep dive of probably a couple of chapters each second Saturday. And that will be, I will review that towards when we get closer to the Pussy Reclamation. But I think for the first two books, that will be plenty. That's what I'm getting. So 9 a.m. every second Saturday, starting on the 4th of May, we will have a longer call. And yes, there will be a replay in the Facebook group. So if you miss it, you can always catch the replays. It's no big deal. Okay. And for the first book, it's that 28-day journey, and it'll be every single day. I will be popping in and we will do a review. If you manage to be there live, fantastic. If you don't, that's okay too. Catch the replay, type in replay, and catch up on what has been discussed, and just give yourself a chance to tap into that beautiful gratitude energy. All right. Okay. Right. Now back to some fun. So let me see, who have I got written down so far? Cool, Christine. I will put you on my list. Fabulous. So you beautiful ladies, particularly that I have on my list already, I will send you a message to let you know when the group is open. Okay. All right. Pardon me. Are we ready? We haven't done this for a couple of weeks, so let's do it tonight. Let's do a gratitude book reading. First number between 1 and 88 inclusive that pops into your head right now. Put it into the chat. The first number, not necessarily your favorite number. Oh, lovely. Oh, yay, Melinda. Woo! 23. I love it. Hello, Imbed. Sweet M for Melinda. Sweet Melinda. You bring sunshine to my tears and laughter to my mouth. You are one of the few who will stay with my heart and memory for always. Melinda, do you realize how much you mean to other people? Do you realize just how much they value you and your contribution and your magic in their world? This is an acknowledgement of just how incredible you are, and the ease and the fun and the lightness and the sunshine that you bring to people's worlds every single day. It was no mistake that I said sweet M. Sweet Melinda. That is why. So it is okay to acknowledge just how much you bring, how much lightness, how much healing, how much brightness, how much expansiveness you bring to people all around you every single day. Even your crazy neighbors across the road. You are still contributing to all of those people every single day with everything that you do, the magic that you bring in every breath and every step that you make. You are contributing your ripples of lightness and healing. You're welcome. Amber, number 14. Thank you for being here. Realization. Why is it that when a person loves another, they can't see the obvious? The other isn't feeling the same way. The hurt for the person is unbearable when they finally realize they feel stupid that they didn't just see. But it's so much worse when it carries on for a long time. The person is denying the inevitable and falling deeper into the trap called heartache. Whew. Amber. I feel your heart. And heartache sucks ass. When we have hopes and dreams that don't work out how we thought they would, we grieve. And part of that grieving process is that we turn in on ourselves a bit. And it can show up as depression. It can show up as self-doubt. It can show up as a numbness from the world. I invite you to keep watching. We do a healing meditation at the end of each show. And in there, there's a tool that we do called the Expanding Out tool. And that will help. It'll help you to move through this period of emotional upheaval and realize that it's okay. It's okay that it didn't work out. It's okay that things are the way they are. There's some real big, beautiful gifts for you that are waiting for you. This is bringing up a lot of energy for you to look at, to heal, look at where that originally came from, and not necessarily just in the last little while. Look at the very first time you ever felt that way. And what has been left that's unhealed from that. Okay? Sending you lots of love, Amber. Catherine. Lovely, lovely Catherine. $64. Oh, goodness. And Melinda, maybe that is why you're still at the food hub. Maybe that is your job. All right. Catherine, you picked an interesting one too. To my loved ones, when I die, may I have lived a full and long life. May I have received a lovely family. May I have cried, laughed, and loved. May I have listened to beautiful music. May my family and friends remember me. May they always think of the happy times, and may they not dwell on the sadness for too long. So this is, as it says in the little blurb at the bottom, my simple request is that this be read at my funeral, whenever that may be. So for you, my sweet, are you living a full life? Are you choosing to listen to beautiful music and connecting in with nature and choosing something every single day that makes you feel full and happy and connected? Are you reaching out to people who light you up, your friends and family? Are you creating memories? This is kind of like a nice little check-in point for you to go, oh, what am I creating in my life? Am I creating trauma and drama, or am I creating happy memories, things that people will go, oh, what is your legacy? I used to struggle with that a lot, because for me, a legacy is for people who have kids. That's the way I used to think about it. And now I don't, because I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephews, but I don't have kids of my own. So my legacy is what I'm doing right now. It's connecting in with you all and sharing our knowledge and our love and our healings and being a support to each other. This is my legacy. Because what I do here creates change for so many people beyond just the people who are watching and listening. Because it ripples out. So what are you creating? What is your legacy? What are people going to remember about you when you pass away? When you choose to leave this earthly plane and go into the spirit world? Big questions, but it can be a really big reality check as well. Have fun with that, Catherine. Christine, 45 for you. All right. We got serenity. Two old souls coming together to form one, living as if it's always been this way. Happiness surrounds us like a light, emitted from our being. A calm has spread over me, just as the ocean after a storm. This peace I embrace unquestioningly along with this feeling of wholeness. The part that was standing out the most in this is the storm. There is a lot of stormy energy around you. And I know that you are aching for all the other stuff in this poem. And at the moment, you're in the storm. So what I'm seeing here is all of the stuff, all the serenity is on the way. There's some choices that you're going to have to make. And it's also part of that is around there's healing to do for you. So that you can embrace the peace, so that you can feel the wholeness within yourself. And then the old soul will come. They will come to you. And you'll know them as soon as you see them. And it might shake your world up quite a bit. But when they come in, it'll be like, boom. Shit. In a good way. But at the moment, things are a bit of a shitstorm. And it's an acknowledgement of that, but also that it's not going to last forever. It's temporary. Okay? Keep doing the work. You'll get there. Edwina. Clouds. As the clouds roll by and I lay watching, a type of peace comes over me. I've stopped. My thoughts, my worrying, my troubles. For just a short while, I am me, laying there on the grass, watching the clouds as they roll by. I'm going to read you the bit at the bottom. It says, while this is a lovely poem about the worries and troubles and thoughts referred to here are about some very heated discussions I'd had with my mum and about how I had made the wrong choice being with the guy, and I went into defense of my decisions, all the while being very worried as to what that decision would mean for my relationship with my family. And once again, the earth gifts me the space of peace and tranquility. So energetic shifts and changes, Edwina, can often lead to some interesting discussions with our loved ones. And sometimes they just don't they don't get why we're choosing what we're choosing and why we've changed and why we're not responding the same way or reacting the same way. If they're used to seeing us react to things and then we change and shift and go into responding instead, it comes from a very different place. When we respond, it's a very calm place. And when we are reacting, it's a very agitated space. And if they're used to that agitated space and we suddenly shift to go to responding instead, it's like, what? And that can create some really interesting reactions out of them. It's okay. It's another invitation for you to just be with nature. Be calm. Be relaxed. Get some time in with nature. And when was the last time you laid back on the grass and just watched the clouds roll by? Look to see, can you see different animals or different shapes or anything like that? Bet you for a lot of us, it's been a long time. You can not even have to lie on the grass. You can just sit on your back doorstep and look up. It's another invitation for you to connect in with Mother Nature. Okay. Thank you, Edwina, for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for your lovely, lovely contributions to the show and for just being freaking amazing, because you all are. Yes, Christine, I'll see you a bit later. It's in my tomorrow, but it's later for you today. I love it. International time zones. Woohoo! Way to go. Alrighty. So let's get stuck into our meditation. It is time. Take a big, deep breath in and relax your bodies. Close your eyes. And taking another big, 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 deep breath in. Down to the bottom of your bellies, please. Hand out. If you need to, place one hand on your belly so that you can feel your belly moving. And breathing out. This time when you breathe in, bring Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body from your feet all the way through to the crown. And as you breathe out, bring Father Sky energy all the way down. We're just balancing masculine and feminine energies in our bodies. Bring Mother Earth energy all the way up with that unconditional love. And as you bring Father Sky energy all the way down, bringing it with the gratitude for everything and everyone. Once again, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up with the unconditional love. And Father Sky energy all the way down with gratitude for everything and everyone. And now we'll move into our expanding out exercise. I'd like you to grab your awareness, become aware of your body. How is it positioned? Become aware of the clothes on your body if you have clothes on your body. Become aware of any furniture that is supporting your body. Become aware of the air around you. As you are aware of your breath and your body, of all of your internal organs moving and shifting and changing and supporting you in your beautiful existence. Expand out your awareness out to the size of the building that you're in right now. In a beautiful big bubble, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your awareness to the size of the country that you're in. Expanding out your awareness to the size of the planet. Expanding out your awareness to the size of the solar system. To the size and beyond the galaxies. Expanding out your awareness beyond the universes. And relax. Keeping your awareness nice and expanded out, return your focus to your body and grab your sense of allowance. Your sense of allowance is being able to perceive, know, be, and receive all of the energies that are around you from no point of view. There's no resistance, reaction, judgment, or anything else. You can just see it for what it truly is. You take yourself from being the tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of the raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, because you're aware little beings, you're psychic little beings. And you expand out your allowance. So you become like this big fluffy cloud that's light and fluffy. And it can see that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions for exactly what they are. It's just energy. That's all it is. Expanding out your allowance beyond your body, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your allowance greater than the building that you're in, greater than the country that you're on, greater than the planet, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the galaxies, beyond the universes. Now expanding out your allowance beyond your awareness. Beautiful. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just notice how your body has changed. Notice how it's relaxed just a little bit. And now today, we're going to do something that's a little bit different. It's a technique I learned for relaxation many, many years ago. If you did not have your hands on your belly before, please do so now. Just to remind yourself to breathe in through your nose, to make your belly move up and down. Allowing your shoulders to remain reasonably still. And now I'd like you to focus on your toes. And as you focus on your toes, I'd like you to scrunch them up really, 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 really tight. Just keep scrunching, scrunching, scrunching. Give it a big breath. Make it 2 breaths. Another breath. And this time as you breathe in, I want you to relax your toes. Unscrunch them. And as you breathe out, allow them to relax. Relax your toes. Become aware of the blood flowing through your bones and your muscles. Give them a little wiggle. All right. And now we are going to do that again, but with our entire feet. So on our inwards breath, we're going to tighten up our feet really, really tight. Ready? 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Your whole foot. Scrunch it all up. And breathing out. Breathing in to your belly. Breathing out. Once more, breathing in. Tight, tight, tight feet. And this time as you breathe out, let your feet relax. Uncurl them. Allow them to relax. Stretch them out the other way. Breathing in. Slower this time. Allow your toes to return to a neutral position. Breathing in and out. All right. And now this is going to feel a little strange. But now I'd like you to imagine on this tightening up that you're tightening up your ankles. And can do that by sort of tilting your feet outwards a little bit. You can tense up your ankles. So breathing in now, just a nice, quick, sharp breath in, tense up those ankles. And as you breathe out, keep them tense. Breathing in, keep those ankles tight, tight, tight. Breathing out. Breathing in once more. And now as you breathe out, relax your ankles down. Slow breath out. Breathing in slowly. And out. And in, nice and slow and low into your belly. And as you breathe out, get ready to tense up your calves and your shins. Ready? Breathing in, tensing up your calves and your shins. Ready? Go. You might find that you've got to point your toes or whatever, it helps, but focus on your calves and your shins to be able to do this. Try not to do your thighs just yet. Just your calves and your shins. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in once more And as you breathe out, relax your calves and your shins. Good work. You're doing really, really well. Slowly breathing in once more. Slowly breathing out. And now we're getting ready to do our knees. Breathing in. And as we breathe out, tense up our knees. That's it. Just focus on your knees. Try not to do your thighs too much. Just focusing on those knee areas. I know it's tricky. We're not used to focusing on particular parts of our body, but just try. All right, breathing in and out. Keep focusing on even these quick breaths being down in your belly. And out. Once more, breathing in. Keep those knees tight, 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 tight. And now relax. Slow breath out. Let your knees relax. That's it. A slow breath in. And out. One more slow breath in as we're ready for our thighs. And as you breathe out, tense up those thighs. They're finally getting their time in the spotlight. Tense them up. Tight, 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 tight. And now breathe in. And out. Breathing in. And out. Breathing once more in. Keep those thighs nice and tight, 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 tight. And as you breathe out, relax. Just take a moment to feel how different your legs feel right now. Just keep breathing slowly. How alive they feel. Like, for once, we're actually paying attention to every single part of your body, of your legs, and notice how much they love it. All right, so now we're going to move over to your pelvis and your buttocks. So this one here, it's dealing with those real lower tummy muscles and your butt. So that whole region from your butt all the way around your pelvis, we're going to do it all at once. All right, so ready? Breathing in. And as you breathe out, tense up your butt and your low tummy muscles all the way around. Tight, 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 tight around your hips. Keep it tight, tight. Your PC muscles, everything really, really tight. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in once more. Tight, tight, tight. And as you breathe out, relax everything. Good work. Well done. Another nice slow breath in and out. All right, now to move up to your middle of your belly, which has been, or your whole belly area, which has been doing so much beautiful work tonight. So with this one, you might feel like your whole diaphragm, which runs all the way from your spine, all the way around to your belly button. We're going to work with that beautiful big muscle through there now. So as you breathe in, preparing yourself, ready, breathing in, nice big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, tense up that whole diaphragm, your entire tummy, all the way around the back to your spine, right round to the front with your belly button. Tight, 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 tight. Breathing in. Breathing out, you should feel really heaps of pressure as you're trying to breathe in while you've got all these tummy muscles nice and tight. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, letting it all relax now. Beautiful, well done. Nice, big, deep breath in through that whole tummy area that you've just had nice and tight. And a nice, big, deep breath out. Beautiful. Now we'll move into the upper chest area, upper torso, your shoulders, your back, and your front. All at once, you're sort of going to squeeze it all together. All right, ready? Big breath in. And as you breathe out, tighten up your upper tummy, your upper chest, your shoulders, all together. Make it really, 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 really tight. Breathing in through your belly and out. Breathing in through your belly and out. Once more, breathing in through the belly, making your upper chest really, really, really tight. Just one more squeeze. Your shoulders and everything. And as you breathe out, relax. Relax your shoulder blades. Relax your chest. Give yourself a nice big deep breath in and out. And now we're going to speed this one up a little bit. And this time I'm going to ask you to do your entire arms all the way down to your hands and your fingers, making a tight fist at the end. And I want you, when we tense up our muscles, to make every single muscle from your top of your shoulders, down your biceps and your triceps, through your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, right to the tips of your fingers, really, really tense. You ready? Breathing in and go. Really tight on your arms, really tight on your fingers, really, really tight. Breathing out. Breathing in. Just your arms. Breathing out. Just your arms. Keep your arms tense, the rest of your body loose. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in once more. And as you breathe out, relax your fingers. Give them a wiggle. Roll your wrists. Breathing in. Allow your arms to move and roll them around. Acknowledging just how amazing they are. How much they do for you every single day. Now we'll move up to the neck and the throat. So this one's going to look very funny. That's okay. Nobody can see you. All right, you ready? Readying yourself and your attention to be on your throat and your neck. Breathing in. As you breathe out, tense up your neck and your throat. Keep it really, really tight. Breathing out. Just your neck and your throat. Breathing in. Breathing out. Neck and throat. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, relax your neck and your throat. You might feel the need to give your head a bit of a roll from side to side now. As you realize what it feels like to have a nice, loose neck, as your muscles have realized it's okay to be relaxed. And now we're going to move on to the face. So this is a fun one. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, I want you to tense up your whole face all at once. As you breathe out. Like you've sucked on a really bad lemon. Breathing in. Breathing out. Making your eyes really tight. Your face really tight. Cheeks, your lips, your nose, everything. Really, really tight. Breathing in. And breathing out. Once more, breathing in. And this time as you breathe out, completely relax your face. Relax your eyes, relax your nose, relax your cheeks, relax your mouth and your ears. Allow everything to relax. Beautiful. And now we're going to try this one. It might be a bit tricky, but give it a go anyway. We're going to try and tighten the scalp. So you might be able to do that by just imagining that everything's being pulled back really, really tight. You might feel like your eyebrows go up heaps. Okay, so ready? Breathing in. Focusing on your scalp, and now tense up your scalp. Imagine your ears are being pulled back, your eyebrows are being pulled back, the nape of your neck is being pulled up. Tense, 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 tense. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Keep that scalp really tense. Breathing out. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, relax your scalp. Beautiful. And now take a big, big breath throughout your whole entire body. Imagine breathing all the way down to your toes. Breathing in nice and slow. And as you breathe out, just take a moment to acknowledge how different your body feels now. Taking another big, deep breath in. And a slow breath out. I'd now like you to give yourselves a hug, to let you and your beautiful body know that you are loved, that you care, that you are important, that you are magical, and you do gift to others all the time in your own unique way. Thank your body for being with you on this journey. Love every single part of you. And we'll finish up this section by saying, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I love you, my beautiful body. And I'm honored to do this journey with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One last big deep breath in. And breathing out. Alrighty, when you're ready, open your eyes, my beautiful friends. It's a bit of a different meditation for us today. Something to help you connect in with your beautiful bodies and to realize the difference between being tense and being relaxed. Teaching you and your bodies how you can do that through your breath and through the physical action of actually tensing up your muscles, and how you can do that from a very creative, constructive way. Hi, Sandra. I'm doing really, really well. Thank you so much for asking. The clouds. Melinda, I remember doing that as a kid. I loved it. Every now and then I look up and see all sorts of shapes and animals, etc. in the sky. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing to do. And it's something that really assists with calming the mind. So how did you find that meditation, my beautiful ones? Like I said, it's a breathing technique and connection of sorts exercise that I learned many, many years ago. So grateful that I did, because it's lovely to be able to bring it back to you now. It's from a time when I was doing Lifeline training, and I was a Lifeline telephone counselor for nearly 2 years. That was really interesting work, being able to help people and just be a listening ear sometimes, because that's sometimes all people require. So again, a reminder that if you are a beautiful sister goddess in waiting and you would like to join us on this 3-book series, let me know and I will put you on the list, and let you know when the Facebook group will be released. It'll be either tomorrow or the next day, and if it is the next day, it'll be over the weekend. It won't get till Monday and I won't have done it. So this is my commitment to you guys to say, yes, it will be released this weekend so that you guys can prepare. All right. So until next week, please get out there, do something tasty for yourself. Even if that is just sitting on the front doorstep, back doorstep, or a park bench and watching the clouds as they roll by and finding funny shapes in them, animals and things, or whatever you desire to do to assist you over this next week. Please get out there, do something tasty. I really don't mind what it is, as long as it's something that's going to nurture and nourish you. And until next week, my beautiful friends, be bold, be brave, be you. I adore you. Thank you for being here with me today. Bye-bye.